Man. So as I'm sitting here listening to the intro, another idea came to mind. So I grabbed my trusty notebook and I wrote it down. I was like, don't forget. I wasn't going to, and I was like, no, you're gonna forget this. You're gonna forget it. So I got another one. What's up, y'all? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy
Happy
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Today is, what did we say we're gonna do? July 21st, 2026.
July 21st.
July 21st, 2026. We were talking about, potential topic for next week. And I was like, next week is our in-person. So we are nearing the end of the month again. So just as a reminder, next Tuesday, we won't be here live. We'll probably show a previously recorded conversation that we've had, just so that, it's up there and we can always, double back and talk about it if you want to. But we will be having our last Tuesday next Tuesday. So the last Tuesday every month where we meet in person if you are in the 512 Austin area. Come out and have these conversations with us in person. No streaming, no recording, nothing live, no face, no case. Nobody knows that you were there. Nobody knows what your thoughts are. Nobody can judge you. And if somebody does, it was somebody in that room. So you know who was involved in your thought process. And that's what the last Tuesday is. So come out to the last Tuesday. We meet every last Tuesday of the month in person. And it's a great time. So we won't be here live next week while we were talking about what topics are going to be topics. And side note real quick, while folks are logging in and you're doing what you're doing, happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday.
Yeah. Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Your birthday was on a Friday. Like, I was traveling that day, but how was your birthday? Like, it's great to have a birthday on a weekend, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I had a good birthday. I enjoyed it. My whole family was here, so my mom, dad, all my sisters, nieces, nephews, everybody was here. A couple of my friends came, so we just hung out at the house, got some pizza, had some cake, and then so we kind of just celebrate because my son's birthday is the Thursday, the day before. And his Thursday, my Friday, so we just had a nice party with everybody. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
We're here. Yeah. Is this your mom's first time? Is your parents' first time at the new house?
No. They've been here.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's cool. That's good. Well, good. I'm glad you got to have all your family down for your birthday.
Yeah, no, it was great. Exactly. That's what I said in my speech. And like when it comes to my birthday, I always say this. I'm not a big clubbing person, going out person. And if I do, it has nothing to do with the venue. I just like being around my friends and my family. I just like being around people. That's it. So whether we out, whether we in the house, I just like spending time with my family on my birthday. That's it. And I got to do that to the fullest. So it was great.
Do you feel like as you've gotten older, your thoughts about birthdays or your just feelings around birthdays have changed at all as you've gotten older? Like, were you just in general, have you had any, like, has birthday?
I've always been like that. Even back when I was a teenager, that would be the only time. And that's what even my sister would tell you, like, even when I was like in high school, that would be the time. I ain't like being around a lot of people. My birthday, I would just like hanging out with my mom and my sister, and we go play miniature golf and go get me my strawberry pie, and just that'd be it. I'd like hanging out with my family, and then later on that evening, some of my friends, we might get together, have a house party, just play some dominoes or spades, and that was it. That's a perfect birthday for me.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I have, a couple things that I've added in there. Number one, I never work on my birthday. I will not work on my birthday.
I love when people do that. I have a girlfriend who's like that. I love when people do that. I love that. Hell yeah.
So in theory, for me, birthdays are, it's about celebrating, reflecting, but it's also about creating memories. I will not do the same things that I always do. And going to work is just the same thing that you do every day. So I'll get out. I won't go to work. I usually go to a restaurant. Or I'll go get something to eat at a place that I've never been before. And I don't wait for other people to celebrate my birthday. You know, I
Yeah.
do have
No,
I do have other people. You know, if they do, hey, I'm out. I'm moving around. I'm
right.
going just clearing my head, just kind of meditating on the day. Anybody's welcome to hang out with me, but if nobody does, then I will hang out by myself. I
Right.
will be by myself. I go get something to eat by myself. I will, and I think that might have happened one time, maybe where like nobody really reached out to me on my birthday or whatever, and I was kind of disappointed. When I say nobody, I'm not talking about nobody. You know, you got Facebook friends, stuff like that. But the
Right.
people who are close to you didn't really, you didn't get nothing. So I was like, I will never wait on somebody else to celebrate my day. I define that day for myself. I define what a successful and enjoyable day is for me.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome to come along, but if
Right.
nobody doesn't, I still define it for myself.
I'm still gonna have a good day, regardless. This day is my day. I like that. Like I said, I've got a girlfriend who does that too. She takes it off every year, regardless. And I guess for me, it's a little different. I can take my birthday off. It wasn't an issue, right? But like, in general, I would go to work because my family was where I worked, so I was with my family. It was fine. Right. Like I was with the people that I wanted to be with on my birthday. But I love that people take off work, go get a massage, just do something for themselves that they're like, buy a cake for themselves,
Yeah.
take, like, you don't like, it used to make me sad to see people get sad about stuff like that. Right. And
Right.
now I get it, but it's like, buy yourself a cake, buy yourself some, like, does it suck? Maybe, but so fucking what? Like, you're literally alive. You're literally alive. We're celebrating my birthday. Like, I love people that do.
I went to Hippie Hollow in the morning for my birthday. Go jump in my birthday suit, have my speaker, have my Bob Marley, do Bob Marley things, and I just relax. Let the wind hit up against my skin and just zen out, enjoy it.
I love it. Was that your first time and only time? Have you been since?
No, I did that for the first time. Golly, I want to say like 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago.
Okay.
And after I did it the first time, then I'll go at least once a year.
Yeah, a couple times during the summer for sure.
Yeah.
I love going. However, a couple weeks ago I was going to go and I posted something on social media about going out to Hippie Hollow for a Sunday or something, and some people I knew were very interested, and I was like, nah, I'm not going. Like, I'm no. Sometimes there becomes, less is more, obviously, but I'm like,
I get what you're saying.
Always had fear that I'm going to run into somebody that I know. So like, I love to go and just enjoy an adult only, don't give a fuck space, right? Like I love the sun and I love to be naked, for the most part, and I love water. So, I don't always participate, but I definitely get my $8 worth of parking out of my my time at Hippie Hollow. I love Hippie Hollow. That's such a negative.
The first time I went, it was kind of like it was like this is weird.
Type. It's always had a negative stereotype, and people who go like
every time people say it, I'm like, it's not what you think. It's not what you think.
Not. And it's only Americans who think like that. Like I have a friend who lived all over in other European countries. He was like, nobody wears clothes at the beach. He's like, this isn't even a nude beach. He was like, you can't even consider this that,
Right.
A lot of real nude beaches, children walk around too. And I'm like, no, we're getting, but that again, that's an American culture. That's here versus there, right? But I love it. But it's always had a bad reputation, a weird reputation.
Right. So so by the first time I did it felt weird. Like by the third time, I'm just as soon as I get past the little gate, I'm just it's coming off of them like, oh, finally, I feel free. Oh.
hilarious. The only thing that sucks about that is the walk down. God, it is such a hike, and it is like, so I've had friends who are like, I want to go, and I'm like, let me tell you right now, you need to wear tennis shoes, and you need to be prepared to do some fucking hiking, because you are climbing those rocks if you want to touch water. It's a lot down there. But once you get situated and set up, get your little tent, little canopy, man, it's perfect. Perfect. All day play. And that is the only one, at least in Central Texas, that you could call a nude beach. I don't think there's any other like nude beaches per se in like a 5 foot. There's not many. Not many at all. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. So yeah, so we
that's interesting. Trish said she should throw parties in California.
Why am I not seeing? Oh, I know Trisha has been to some nude parties. No, Trisha.
She the one. She said she would throw them. She hosted them.
Yeah. Trisha OG with the naked folks. in the skin you're in. I love that. See, that's still very uncomfortable for a lot of people today. Like, I mean, we talked about this a couple conversations ago. Just even, the conversations about sex and responsibility to sex and sex in a marriage, like, having conversations like that, which is why places like nude beaches get weird reputations and weird names. But it's not.
And it's typically gets the reputation, and it's usually from people who've never been before.
Mm-hmm. And they want to so bad. Ooh, they want to go so damn bad. They want to go so bad, but they so fucking scared, and they done talk so much shit. They would look like a hypocrite if they got caught going.
And not only that, like this body that I have is. I'm trying to. This is a temporary body, and I'm not just talking about life. I'm talking about right now. My body 2 years from now is not going to be the same body as it is right now.
Right.
There's a lot of things, 3-4 years not going to be so you need to appreciate where you are and be comfortable where you are in the present. And that's mind, body, and soul. Yeah. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Don't get frustrated because you are not physically or mentally or spiritually. It's all a process.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Appreciate where you are right now and sit in it.
True.
Knowing that evolution is coming, knowing that change and growth is coming, but as long as I'm too focused on looking down the road, then I'm just not appreciating my present.
Yeah. And that's where anxiety comes into play, and work and nervousness, and like it's funny because I oftentimes think about how many slogans I heard growing up, always with parents in recovery, like real knee deep, like your people was in church, my fucking people were in recovery. They were in 12-step land, you know what I'm saying? So like to hear so many sayings and slogans and short little quotes before they were quotes, right? Things that I'd heard always in my life growing up, keeping it simple, right? Like just things to avoid long-term unnecessary shit that you're adding on to today's plate when you don't even need to put it on today's plate because it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
So yeah, keeping shit simple, man. That definitely does it for me. Absolutely.
Okay, listen. Let's go here. What are we going to talk about next week for our live show? What do you want to get into?
For in person?
Yep.
I never have ideas anymore, and when I do, they're never on the spot. Never on the spot. They're always random, sporadic. Never on the spot. Sometimes I'm like, what's wrong with my brain? I can't come up with shit. But after 9 years, sometimes I think we've talked about everything.
Yeah, I feel like that a lot.
Or I don't know if it'd be a good topic, or I don't know if people would be interested, right? Like, or sometimes can we do a whole 90-minute conversation,
Or I mean, we can go back like we used to do. Like I said, we used to kind of split it up 30-30-30. We kind of have
Yeah,
maybe 2 or 3 topics, and we kind of split it up. And if one conversation kind of die out, then we can go to the rest. And it also gives you the opportunity. So now, guys, we're giving you a little insight on just our mindset on how we go about topics. I was gonna say it also gives us the opportunity where it's something for everybody. So if we do something kind of in politics, some people may be interested, some people may not. Um, but then if you kind of split it up between politics, and then the next topic could be something relational, and the next topic could be something of a social issue, and next topic could be something like a hot topic, then it kind of gives everyone opportunity to be involved in their area of interest. So
true. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. And so that's something that we should. Trish said she'll post. What she say? She's gonna post on Instagram. What is that? I'm trying to call myself
I'll
keeping
post it.
comments a little bit, but go ahead. Sorry.
No. So, and then this is one of the things when I'm trying to come up with topics. This is what I do. It reminds me of what I do with food. We say, hey, you want to go get something to eat? What you want? I don't know. So before you just go down the list individually, then just first thing you can do is just go down categories. You in the mood for Mexican food? Nah. Well, what about Italian food? No. You want barbecue? Maybe. What about pizza and burger? So now you kind of narrow it down to the categories what you want. So then once you start narrowing it down to the categories, then it's easier to start pinpointing what it is that you want.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go hit up a food truck? I think I want to go sit down. Okay, well, you thinking maybe barbecue, maybe burgers, maybe pizza. Now I can start mentioning more specifics because we've already got, you don't want Mexican, you don't want Italian, you're not in the mood for Chinese right now. So now we can start pinpointing what direction we want to go in.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing, like, okay, do we want to is there any hot topics or any? Well, and the hot topics are hard because by the time next week comes around, and it's like, it's still gonna be hot?
Right.
So that usually comes up more closer to the day of. But like again, when was the last? You know what? I'm always. You keep having this reoccurring thing with the all white people are devils conversation. I think I wouldn't mind taking that offline and having a conversation. And not only that, I'm also interested because people talk real strong with their chests online and on social media.
Okay.
But then when you get in person and you gotta face to face, and I'm like, okay, are you really? Number one, are you holding that same energy? And number two, do you really have any set of facts to back that up? What you're saying? Like, that's something I kind of would be interested. How do people really feel about that? And then on take it or leave it, for what personal experiences do you have that's backing that up? And a step further, do you have any counter experiences? To where even if you felt this way, do you have any other experiences that show you the opposite?
Of course.
So
of course.
That's something that we could put on the table. That's, I mean, once and for all. Another one.
I just said I don't have a misunderstanding about the sentiment. I'm not confused about the sentiment. I'm not offended by the sentiment. I don't get hurt by the sentiment. I actually understand fully the sentiment. And in many cases, I agree with the sentiment. Like, two things can be right at the same time. So I'm always willing to have that conversation because most people think it's wild coming out of my mouth. But
see, again, that would be one of my arguments. Is it actually white people, or is it just it's just a systematic structure that white people happen in this dynamic? White people are the ones who are benefiting from this structure. because we've seen this. Like, if you pay attention to history, you see similar things that happen in similar ways of oppression where um the Chinese oppressed the Japanese people, and then the Japanese people came back and oppressed the Chinese people, and you had certain factions of Indian people, and in the middle you can go all around, even in Europe. Like, so it's so how do we just come up with this one thing? And I think that's where we get we want to highlight it because in America, that's the dynamic that affects us the most.
Right, but that ugly ass disease, which is white supremacy, white inferiority, uh, white purity, white fragility, like the disease that is of those are on every continent that we have. So, you know, could experiences be different in different places? Maybe. I don't know. I'll never know. I'll never ever know. But
Yeah.
what I do know is walking out with white skin definitely allows you a different everything than
Sure.
walking out with not white skin. So
Primarily in this country and also in this period of time, though.
I don't need to divide it amongst what kind of white people. Like, and at this
But
point,
what I'm saying though, if it's just this time period, because there's a time period where white people weren't the dominant people who held all the cards in their hand. So what was it then? So you can't just say is white. Maybe is it classism? And at this period or this millennium, that white people are just the ones that control the money in classism right now, or is it something else? I'm just saying it's worth thinking about or explaining more than just being that's like I keep saying, it's lazy to me.
But so there lies what the definition, the actual interworkings of systemic anything is. And in this case, it's definitely systemic oppression, right? Systemic racism. Right.
But classism is also oppression.
Absolutely. But there's also
patriarchy is also oppression.
And classism. So who's at the fucking top, right? And who's not, right? So there's like I used to think that maybe you could be divided amongst countries, right? Like, oh, it's got to be better in other countries, right? To not have the standard American, transatlantic slave, history, model of the United States of America. So it's got to be better in other countries that had nothing to do with that, right? But it's not. Any person that's traveled internationally has experienced racism on every fucking continent and has experienced it from not just white people, but certainly been something that's been experienced all over the place. So
I'm just saying it's dangerous to think it's one thing, and then when that thing goes away, then you find out that really wasn't what it was. So I'm always into history. So when you talk about when Belgium left out of I believe it was the Congo after World War II. Belgium left because they were decolonization and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They were oppressed by the Belgian people. When Belgium left, then Idi Amin took over, and then it was the same thing all over again. So it's like, it just wasn't white people who was doing this. There is a power and a desire for control that doesn't limit itself to just color. So what I'm saying is just don't focus on the color. Let's focus on let's get deeper to the root of it than just color.
There's always a lot of different roots to the plant, to the problem, right? But at the same time, the hierarchy is not going to change. So that's no matter how much working within the system we want to do, or no matter how much, in reality, yeah, that's good, right? But in reality, that's not how that works. In reality, shit like that's everywhere that you go, right? Like, I get it. I get it, and I think that you're fair about it, but I don't think it's your job to not be fair. I think it's my job to not be fair. I think it's my job to crush the fucking issue. I think it's my job to call bullshit when I fucking see it. I think that's my job. I can't tell you what your experience is because I'll never fucking know. But I know what happens on this side, and I've seen it.
Well, okay. Okay, so Nikki, and I'm gonna get to this religion part in a second. Ain't much to say. I pretty much religion is an excuse for violence. I mostly well, okay, so that kind of goes back to what I'm about to say with you, and I get back to that.
Shit,
To where you do need to acknowledge. I don't think we need to just gloss over it. Yeah, there's racism is a big part of it, but I don't think we should just stop at racism. Let's talk about the racism element, and then let's talk about the other elements that also contribute.
Yeah, but we gotta yeah, sure, but you always got to go to the root, or else the shit just gonna always run wild. So yeah, we can
But
address it.
is racism the root, though? Would you say racism is the root more than patriarchy?
I think colorism probably comes. I think colorism probably comes first. I think white men probably hated non-white men more than they hated white women, right? And then women after that. So I think colorism probably came first, and then patriarchy. And then I'm sure in there, fucking racism had to happen, because how the fuck are we gonna get what we want if we don't oppress the smart fucking strong people? So women and black people, you know, same shit. So I think that's the order of fucking operations that it happened in. So like you can't beat
And I
around.
agree with that, actually. I just, again, just like you said, let's talk about the hierarchy of it. So
Yeah.
I don't want to educate our children to think once we eradicate this, then everything will be fine. No, once we eradicate this, now you're gonna have to look at these other 3 or 4 things that's also gonna come up as well.
Well, and the downside of if we decided to actively, collectively work at it, right, it would probably take fucking generations to rid. I don't know if it's even possible to be rid as much as maybe we can just fucking make it so disgusting, right? That like,
Right. You know what? Okay, so let me get back to the religion is an excuse for violence. I'm so torn on the religion side of it. I really am. Because you can't argue with history. That's absolutely the truth. A large portion of the wars and violence that's gone on throughout history was done in the name of somebody's God, done in the name of somebody's religion, done in the name of different churches, and oof. So yeah, I am. And so then it's like you do have to question yourself. Like, is the peace of the type of peace that religion promotes, is it all a facade? Now, for those who don't believe in, anything at all, then they probably say, yeah, I don't believe that it's all designed to be a facade, but I'm always keeping my eyes open whenever it comes. Okay, dang, I say it like this. As a
designed to
free
be a
thinker,
control method, maybe not designed to be a facade, but it's designed for control. Absolutely designed for
and that's
control.
what I was about to say, Nikki. Anytime that we are trying to condition a group of people to all think one way, is definitely control involved in that, and that type of control is very dangerous. And to the point, then you do have to question, especially with that type of control, those who control it hold a certain level of power. And what is the purpose for one wanting to obtain that type of power? It's usually not for righteous,
Oh,
peaceful
oh,
reasons. It's just usually not.
no,
Anytime somebody has a strong desire for power, then it's usually not, oh, I'm doing it just because I have such a strong wantingness to spread peace and love. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Power is currency. Power is power is everything, especially if you ain't got much, right? Like yeah, no. Religion is definitely. So it's interesting to hear you talk about that then, right? Because you know, isn't that kind of what following that is, right? Like, so are you being complicit to the effects of being complicit to the maybe damages from, right? Complicit to Like, if you know that it's most wars are behind religion and most death is behind religion and most fucked up shit is behind religion and patriarchy is behind religion. Like, if we know that those things are, like, those are the roots, so they say, right? You know,
Right. So okay, so this, I guess this is where the question comes in for me. When we just say religion, we are using the broadest of broadest terms.
Just a believing in something other than self, essentially, you could say, right? Like,
right, just a systematic, routine form of belief, or
no specific godlike name, just, you know, whatever.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just a broad, it's
Sure.
as broad a term as you can get. But then, so the question is, the type of spirituality that I practice, does it directly or even indirectly stream back into that type of religious power struggle, ultimately leading to war and division type of conversation I was talking about? A lot of stuff on the surface level or on the low levels, then okay, yeah, we talking about peace and we feeding the homeless and we doing these things. But then when you keep going further up, then you realize it's a whole it's a it's a it's something, it's just like even with politics. Okay, yeah, you got the welfare system and you're feeding the kids and you're feeding the women and you're doing these good things and you make sure people feed, but as you go further up the chain, then you realize it's not all, it's not all peace and love, and everything what they promote on the lower levels is not the ultimate agenda that they have the farther you go up that totem pole. So then you have to wonder, like, I'm dang, it's almost like one of those things, like, just on the base level. And I don't know a whole lot about this, but I heard about enough to have questions. Talk Black Lives Matter. At the base, yeah, Black lives do matter. Yeah, we do want everybody treated right. Yeah, we should stick up for those who are being oppressed and marginalized. And that's just the base level. When you started going further up that tree, then you realize there was other agendas involved, and you like, so should I still stand on the mantra or the baseline of what I believe, knowing that the further this goes up, then there's different agendas involved? Or should I not be a part of it altogether, knowing if you know what people's ultimate goal is at the end of the day? That's yeah.
That one was simple for me because Black Lives is never going to not matter. Whether the name of the organization, Poppy wrote the quote, the meme, Black Lives Matter, right? Whether the organization stamped Black Lives Matter as their 3 words, it doesn't change the sentiment for me that Black lives definitely still matter.
Right. So, but then you learn that there's the sentiment Black Lives Matter. Yes, I can get along with that. But then when you talk about the organization and the movement of Black Lives and it becomes something different. It's not just a mantra the further you go up that ladder. There's other agendas involved.
So you're gonna have those kind of people in you have those people in most things. You have people.
That's my question. So do you back out of it altogether because you start to understand different agendas higher up, or do you just stay with what it means to you at your level?
You recognize where the fuckery is involved and you pivot. You say fuck these people and whatever they talking about, but absolutely Black Lives motherfucking matter. Like there's so, but to me, I felt like that was the racist excuse to not say Black Lives Matter. That was the racist excuse. That was a white man's excuse to be like, oh no, all lives matter because they do. They couldn't even say Black Lives Matter. So if you can't matter, but you wrapping it into your excuse that it's because the organization was taking money and buying houses and shit, you got some red flags floating around your head, in my opinion, because that's not even where that should go. That's where it should go. So that's why I personally have an issue with that particular one because, and I'm not one for separating people with organizations, but the point Black Lives Matter is not in fucking question. Anybody who is saying differently is literally saying, but. You know what I'm saying? Black Lives Matter,
Right.
but man, no, fuck out of here with that. If you can't say it, why can't you say it? It's so
And I agree with that. So and even to just a little bit further, it's not hard to set the difference.
right.
Like, it's easy for me to say, yes, I absolutely believe in the statement Black Lives Matter. Now, if you want to argue with me about the organization of
Right.
Black Lives Matter, then we can have a different conversation. But the organization Black Lives Matter is not going to cause me to, like you said, not be able to make that statement or proclamation that yes, Black Lives Matter. And anybody with half of a brain should not have a issue with what you saying that. But it's one of those things like you want to.
So those that do, exactly.
Right.
It shouldn't be a problem to be like, duh.
You're
Black.
using that as an excuse because you just don't want Black Lives to matter, period, on any form of fashion. You're using the organization to give you an excuse not to even echo the sentiment.
You don't think Black Lives Matter?
That's true. I agree.
For letting us fucking know. You know what I mean? That's where I get to kick in.
Okay. Oh, all right then, Nikki. This is the free thinker in me. Why am I like this? So
where do we go with this?
Dang, okay. Now, I don't want you to let's do this in a vacuum. Let's do this in a vacuum because I know where things will go. It's like, well, we know that's a counteraction to what they, but if someone uses the statement white lives matter, is that a wrong statement to make?
Yes.
Why? White lives do matter.
White lives have never not taken fucking priority over everything else. You don't have to say that. It's not necessary. You don't have to say that.
Saying in the vacuum. I'm saying in the vacuum. Somebody's like, hey, white lives matter. I'm like, hey.
That to me is insecurity. That to me is inferiority.
That's if you take it out of that vacuum, then yes, you are correct.
Is fucking me.
But we just talked about a statement in a statement in a vacuum.
Yes, it's still wrong. It's still wrong. Yeah.
How can it be wrong if the Black Lives Matter is not wrong?
Because Black lives don't matter. They don't. They don't.
But they do.
They do.
They don't. I know.
They do. Of course they do.
They don't, but they do.
You have to fight just to get a motherfucker to say 3 words. You can't even say the 3.
I know, but even if it do, then
everything is to white lives. Everything is catered and tailored to white lives. So
let me.
Yes, it's wrong. It is so insecure. It is. God, what was the example I was going to use? It is it's the most insecure ass shit ever.
I got a question too. I got another question. We're gonna fully examine this.
Teresa said it. Teresa White too. Back me up, dog. Trish said it too. So shit.
So no reminders are okay. No reminders needed. But again, the statement in a vacuum, is it true? In a vacuum, is the statement true?
It does. It in a vacuum isn't true. You're gonna say yes because
lives matter.
But for me, obviously, all lives matter. But
do all lives matter? Yes, they actually do.
They do. For me, they do. But I'm just one fucking person, right? So to me, to say white lives matter is dumb as fuck because, duh, you know. But I get. So saying white lives matter is not the same reason you say Black lives matter. They're not the same reasons. So that's like fucking comparing an apple to a.
See, that's you're loading because you're adding context. I was like, just forget the context. The statement itself.
The context being they're not even used for the same reason. No, that's where the context is. If they meant
I know, but what I'm saying is don't take any context. Once you add context, of course you're right. But I'm saying in a vacuum, can you acknowledge that white lives matter?
Lives matter. Lives.
Okay. So then you can also acknowledge white lives matter.
Well, I don't have a problem acknowledging lives matter, period. All of us breathing
See,
people fucking lives
you sidestepping the statement.
matter. All the
Okay,
breathing
now
matter. Well, no, there's a small group of people that I always say don't matter, but yeah.
okay. Oh, all right. Now you just went where I'm about to go.
Okay.
What if there was an
Shout out to these text messages. My phone will show a message. Why y'all don't put it in the comments is hilarious to me, but it's funny. This is people are entertained by this conversation tonight, Q.
so okay. So
Share.
listen, I'm always pushing my free thinker mind to the limits.
Look, we just warming them up for the pay-per-view conversation. That's
Right.
all.
Hey, there we go. Ooh, that would this would definitely be on par for some pay-per-view conference. Okay, so what if there was I'm trying to think of how I want to phrase the question. So what if Black Lives Matter, the group, the affiliation Black Lives Matter, started coming up, instead of chanting Black Lives Matter, then they say, hey, we're gonna have a new slogan, white lives don't matter. Would you be okay with that?
I would fucking just laugh. I'd be like, whatever.
No.
That shit isn't even. It's not. No, that's not gonna happen. Like, I mean,
I didn't say it would. I'm saying if they did, would you be okay with them?
Black people aren't that sorry. You know what I'm saying? As a collective,
I know, I agree, but this is a hypothetical. This is a hypothetical. If black people going down the street saying white lives don't matter, would you be okay?
No, black people are not that fucking fragile. No.
Hypothetically, if they did, would you be okay with that?
Yes, I'm fine with that. You know I'm fine with that.
Hell no.
Somebody to take my white ass across the street or in another room, or do what you do. Because
no.
Where in America do you not get that sign read to you by default omission, right? Or society tells you every day a motherfucker don't want you around. So a group of people holding up a sign that says white lives don't matter, man, if that's what you need to do today, go ahead. I might stick around and fucking watch just in case some dumbass white people want to do some dumb shit and I get to go have my viral moment. Like, you know what I mean? But that shit would not bother me. That wouldn't bother me.
No, Trish, you do need to give an ear shift, even if, and see, okay. Now we got, this is where you got to get a little deeper on this.
Wait, if I still
need
to give a shit. I don't
combining our terrible American history and we're applying that to say, we have a pendulum mindset to where the balance has been so far this way, then it's only right that it swings back the other way. And that's because of our history and the incomplete ways that we were taught. But my question is, would you want your children to be brought up in a society where they think that any race, group, or gender of people is less than the next?
I don't want my children to think that there are people who are less than the next. I want my children to know exactly who people are. I want them to know that there is a massive group of people who don't like you for no other reason other than the color of skin that you came out of a woman's womb with. That's it. The only reason. Absolutely the only reason. So if that just happens to paint a bad picture for a very large group of people, that's not my fault. What I
think it is partially your fault, though.
What I am responsible for is preparing them, painting the picture, and trying to inform them that you might have to meet one of these motherfuckers one day instead of thinking it's not going to happen. No, I need to try to prepare you. This is reality, and these conversations are happening differently in a lot of households right now because you can't get away from it. Right. So no, would not have a problem.
But it's one of those things to where if you are not intentional about combating stereotypes, then you're kind of condoning them by default, and it puts your children in a, well, not it puts our children in a bad spot where um they're going to have to struggle through those same challenges. That, now I'm not saying that they're not going to have to struggle through it anyway. So the best way to teach them is like, yeah, there is racism, there is systemic things that you do have to overcome. You do have to watch out for this. Not only in Mississippi, I probably ain't letting my son hang out with three white friends on a boat party. Just it's not gonna happen.
No.
And I'll tell him, and but if I'm telling him this is how things are effed up, and if you want to make change, my recommendation for him making change is not calling people devils to their face and pointing out all of the if you see hate and if you try to fight hate with hate, then you're not going to get much more than hate out of it. Even if you're fighting for equality, if you're doing it out of hate, then you're still going to produce more hate. Now, if you're just fighting for equality, let me back up again. I'm not saying you fight hate with love, not in a social setting, maybe individually, possibly in a social setting. I don't even think love is always your best route, because that little peaceful, passive stuff. No, you and I hate the word fight, but you have to demand and have an expectation to be treated like the person that you are. I don't fight for somebody to treat me like a man. I am a man, and you will treat me like such.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not me struggling. It's not me trying to bring you down to my level because I feel like you disrespecting me. No, you're just not going to disrespect me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and it sounds similar, but it's a different thing. But I think that's how we teach our children. It's like, no, you always know who you are, walking that, and you don't allow anyone to impede or infringe on that which you know you are. You are a strong man. You are a strong woman. You don't let anybody from a racial or a gender perspective try to belittle you.
And
And that's how you fight it.
Yeah, that's in theory, that's exactly what you tell them, right? In theory,
Right.
that's exactly what you tell them. But in application, that's not how it works. And I had to have this conversation with my son.
That's true.
My son thought, and we had this conversation a couple months back, after was it Cyrus? After one of the most recent black children was not justified, for his death.
The one in up in Dallas area.
It was either Cyrus or the little boy at the gas station. It was one of the two. But I always tell my oldest son, because he's the big one, right? I always tell my oldest son, you cannot wear your fucking hoodie out in public. Like you can't have your hood on in public. Not if I'm not with you. You can't just because one, it's stupid. It's fucking 100 degrees outside, so you look dumb, first of all. So take that dumbass shit off your fucking head. Secondly, you are a threat, black boy. You are. And you're only a child to me. You are a fucking adult to everybody else in this world. At this stage, you are only a child to me. And even though you think and feel like a child, you're only a child to me. You are by law an adult to everyone else, and you are a very large kid. And I said, you have to take that fucking hoodie off when you go out in public. You just have to. You are a threat. And he can't grasp that concept quite yet, because in his mind, I'm definitely not a fucking threat.
Right.
So one night he was coming out of HEB with his hood on, and he gets in the car, and I said, why do you think I ask you to take your hood off and take one earbud out whenever you walk out these doors? Mm-hmm. And he was like, so I don't get hit by a car, so I can always hear what's going on around me. I said, of course, that's what I want you to do with the earbuds. I said, what about the fucking hoodie? And so he takes it down, and I had to have that conversation with him, because in his mind, he just feels like if I get approached by that white person who today is that day for my family, right? If I get approached by that man, he's like, in my son's head, he's like, you just diffuse. I'm not going to entertain this fool. I'm not going to no, you walk away. Call authorities if you need to. Call your mom.
Right.
You just don't engage. You don't have to entertain the circus. I said, son, that's beautiful, but that's not how it works.
Right.
That's not how it works. Those type of people don't diffuse. Those type of people don't fucking walk away. Those type of people get more angered by the fact that you have the ability and the maturity to be able to walk away. So you're going to only make them more angry and irritated and irritable, and they're going to fuck with you. And at some point, when does enough become enough? So in a perfect world, yeah, I tell them, you don't let nobody do this. You don't let nobody do that. You don't let, I really can't make a person do shit or not do shit. I can respond to what you may do. I might not ever be in a situation where I let you do it again, but I can't let you motherfucker not be racist towards me if I don't even know that it's fixing to come my direction. But if I then don't meet you with fire and I meet you with walking away and you still come for me, the reality is, son, you might deal with that white man someday, and I ain't gonna be around. So it's nice to be like, yeah, this is what you do, but when and if it happens, there's a lot of mothers who don't have those sons anymore. So I'm not going to paint this fucking fairy tale that there's so many good white people out here that you don't have to worry about most of them, because I don't know. None of us know. And people that we thought were safe, you've come to find out, are not safe after all. So no, we've earned it, unfortunately.
So this is one of the things I say, and I mean, I absolutely agree, especially when you're talking about you're an adult in everybody else's eyes, but it's
everybody's eyes but mine.
My son is still a baby. My son is still my baby to me. It's like I know, and he's, he's starting to get a little hair under his chin, and I'm like, that's just my baby. I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking. But yeah, I understand. But what I was gonna say is
that part.
What I can encourage. Yeah, I agree with that. Being quiet in society implies consent.
You never got to think about me being quiet.
But see, this is where I will encourage, though, because I'm definitely not one of those people who feel that I'm gonna change the world and everything that's wrong, then I'm gonna go in and I'm not one of those people.
No.
But I do feel like I have the ability to change my direct circle. So for the people, in my workplace, in my community, the people who I encounter even briefly, no, I have a right, and not just a right. I believe you can dictate a lot of the terms of your immediate environment in the way that people deal with you. There are certain things I was watching. Golly, I can't remember the woman's name, but she was a black woman coming up in like the 60s, and she was one of the editors for a popular magazine or whatever. And I mean, like, in a time where her color or her gender did not suit her, she was like, no, you will respect me. And even once she became one of the top editors, and she's like, no, you're gonna pay me like the rest of these white people too. Like, I'm not taking no shorts from nobody.
Right.
And I will, once I find it, I'll send it to you. But I was like, dang, but it's one of those things to where yeah, she couldn't change the whole world, but if you are strong enough in who you are, then you can affect change in your immediate circle and the people that encounter you.
I believe that. I do believe that. I mean, my whole entire professional life as an adult, that's all I've seen work. If you apply it, you see the fruits of the labor. Absolutely.
Right. Okay. Well, my computer just told me it's about to restart in 5 minutes.
Oh, damn.
We got to we coming up on an hour anyway. That's what we said we was going to do.
We're going to do an hour. We said we was going to do an hour.
So we didn't really get any topics done, but that's fine.
I think we did it, but of course, we can always do this for our in-person folks as well. Bye, Trish. Thanks for coming back again. She came 2 weeks in a row. It was so good to see you. No, we could do this, of course, for folks next week in person. I think it's be interesting too, just to see what everybody at the table comes up with dialogue wise. Like, that's literally what it is, right?
I would be interested in just knowing people's thoughts about Black Lives Matter. What are we, 5-6 years out? now what do we think about it? Do we think it was productive? Did it get anything accomplished? Did it like that would be it would kind that and some other things like, when you kind of start reviewing things years later, then you get to look back since you kind of pulled back away from it. Okay. What was it? What was the impact of it? What was, we
So we
start
should do something like 5 years later, like because we can do
I
because
like
we
that.
years
Yeah.
after COVID, 5 years after
Yeah.
5 years later. So we can do 5 years after major events, 5 years after 9/11 versus,
Yeah.
today.
Hey.
Five.
Hey, I'm with that. Let's do it. Let's do it. I think we got it.
Okay, that's what we're doing. That's what we're gonna do in person next week, 5 years later.
Yeah. Let's
Okay,
do
so
it.
for those of y'all that didn't catch us in the very beginning of the conversation, next week is the last Tuesday, which again, we meet the last Tuesday of every month in person. We don't stream live here, but we do meet in person live, 512 Austin. I'll confirm details whether we'll be at Dirty Glove Midwest Barbecue or we'll be at Spinners, one of the two. I'll confirm. And of course, it'll be on the Facebook page, it'll be on the YouTube page, it'll be on the Instagram page. So you can follow all three of those or one of the three. It'll be on all of the information. Of course, it'll be in the group page. It'll be on my page. So you'll know where we're going to be at. But next Tuesday, the last Tuesday, we will do 5 years, 5 years later. So come with some ideas of a 5 year window, a revision, an assessment of something, and an appetite, because you can always come and get dinner. Wherever we meet at, there's always food. If we meet at Spinners, of course, it's full kitchen, full bar. If we meet at Brent's at the food truck, it's BYOB. But it'll be a great time. It's probably going to be hot. Come comfortable. Bring your bug spray. But it'll be a damn good time. Feel free, of course, to tune in. We'll have a previously recorded episode that will show next Tuesday for those of y'all that are not in the 512 area, but for those of y'all that are, definitely come out next Tuesday. And if you are in town, 512 this weekend, Saturday is the Austin Hip Hop Awards. Saturday evening, there's detailed information on the Facebook page as well. But we have been nominated. Facebook has been nominated one of the best podcasts of the year. So whether we win or not, absolute, humble and gratitude to anybody who nominated us and voted for us and shared to their pages to vote for us. Like we will be there, dressed to impress, suit and tie, formal wear. So if you want to do something Saturday night, come on out, get you a ticket, come to the show. It'll be great live Austin hip hop and R&B. It'll be great local music. It'll be a good time. We'll be in the building. I think that's pretty much it. Shit, happy birthday to Q. Make sure you tell Q happy birthday. I don't know what his cash app is, but send us some cash app.
There you go.
We'll see y'all next Tuesday in person. Tuesday after that, we'll catch y'all live. And that's it. Good night.